My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
All right, so wow, I am fresh off of ending my stream, so I'm recording. It's almost 2 o'clock into the morning right now. But I had to do this right now because everything is fresh in my head, and I didn't want to wake up tomorrow and then try to do impressions. I need to do this jump fresh, okay? So as you guys know, a brother has been very excited and kind of, I want to say hyping up, but for me, I think the best game of February is going to be Dying Light 2.
Shut up, bro.
I've been excited for Dying Light 2. This game was definitely one of my most anticipated games this year. So yeah, first impressions of Dying Light 2. Disappointing. I was very disappointed with my first play session of Dying Light 2. Nowhere near as, you know, good as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, you know, more Dying Light 1 greatness, but just even that much better with, you know, 2022. PlayStation 5. It's been like what, 5-6 years since the first Dying Light came out. Dying Light 2 has been very disappointing so far. Story is trash. Like, let's just get the story out of the way. I don't even know what's going on. Story's trash. Like the story, characters and stuff. I was like skipping dialogue. I never do that. Even in Dying Light 1, my first playthrough, I did not skip dialogue, and this one I was skipping dialogue. First playthrough, that's not a good sign. So the story right now, again, the story wasn't really nothing to you know take home and talk about like that in the first Dying Light neither, but I was way more engaged in the first story in Dying Light compared to the story so far in this game. As far as the resolution settings, this game, and this is the you know thing that a lot of gamers have been talking about for a while now, since next gen has been out. Like, you know, all this old cross gen stuff, like how much longer they gonna support, you know, PS4 and Xbox One, because you know it kind of, you know, messes with, you know, them developing for just next gen consoles. I hear the resolution on last gen is like at 860p on PlayStation. Bro, what? Do somebody just be making up resolutions? What is 860p? Okay, so I started playing this game on performance mode because I wanted to play this game at 60 frames per second. The thing about Dying Light 1 was, even though the freaking gameplay was amazing, even today, if you go on Dying Light 1 and play it, it's at 30 FPS, and the junk feels disgusting. Dying Light 2, you can play this game at 60 FPS. The problem is when you play on performance mode, it's at 1080p 60 FPS. Which really might not be a big problem for, you know, most gamers out there. I feel like, even though we are on next gen, I mean, could we have at least gotten 1440p 60 FPS? I don't know. I'm on PS5 now, like, but the issue is when you're playing on performance mode, that 1080p, bro, it looks like probably like a mid PS3 game. Like, especially like the textures and just like the quality. I was like, bro, this 1080p now? Really? So I was like, all right, let me switch over to resolution. In most games, when like you switch it, like it's not that much of a graphical like downgrade, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know why. Performance mode in this game, the graphics just look ugly. It literally looks worse than Dying Light 1 back in 2015. Like, it looks bad. Especially for playing on PS5, like, it looks pretty bad. So I never thought, I guess currently I'm playing this game at 30 FPS again, but it kind of feels, it doesn't feel as bad as the 30 FPS in Dying Light 1. But I am currently on resolution mode. I cannot play this junk on a performance mode. Yeah, it feels smoother, but that junk looked like a PS3 title. Like, maybe like late PS3 title. I don't even know about that, but another thing people are complaining about right now, there's currently no cross-platform co-op. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I'm just getting to the point to where it's like, why are you? I'm just tired of developers releasing games and it's not like all the modes aren't ready for day one. Like it's the same joint with freaking Halo Infinite. Why are we still waiting for freaking Forge and co-op? I'm just and again, like co-op for me like wasn't like a huge thing in the first Dying Light, but if people want to play with their friends and they can't because there's no cross-platform co-op day one, I'm just tired of like devs doing that, like releasing a game when like key features will not be there on launch day. I don't know why they feel like they can do that. It's kind of annoying to me. So I don't know when that update is coming, but yeah, right now, if you're trying to play with people on PS5 and you're on PS4, can't do it. Same thing on Xbox Series X, and you're trying to play with people on Xbox One. Can't do it, whatever. So yeah, and this whole game, bro. Again, I'm on resolution right now, which is supposed to be 4K, which is supposed to be how it looked like in the trailer. This game just has a cheap look to it, bro. Like even in resolution mode, I don't know if I'm tripping. Let me know if y'all played the first Dying Light. Dying Light 1, even when you're playing Dying Light 2 on resolution, Dying Light 1 just looks better. I don't know. It's like the budget for this game, like graphic-wise. Like someone had made the joke that most of the budget went towards Rosario Dawson being in the game. I don't freaking know, but this game just looks cheap. And it really looks cheap with the Infected. That's where you really notice it. The Infected in this game is like they put more details and they just put more effort into the Infected in the first Dying Light. The Infected in this game, they just look like, I don't know, they just look like thrown together. Like, let's just make them, they just look cheap, which I am really shocked by. That the Infected in Dying Light 1 in a 2015 game look better than the Infected in Dying Light 2, a 2022 game. What the freak is going on? The combat is a little wonky right now. I mean, people are saying as like you play through the game, like it gets better and stuff, which that's how it worked in the first Dying Light as well. But it's not that. I can't even. Someone had described it so well in my Twitch stream, but I forgot what he said. Just everything in this game, from the details to even the gameplay, it just feels like kind of wonky and like cheaper than it did in Dying Light 1. Probably the most disappointing thing in Dying Light 2 that I was like, how do you mess this up? Like, that was like one of the best things in Dying Light 1 that they nailed. How do you mess up the nighttime gameplay? The nighttime gameplay in this game, it is not cheek clenching. You do not clench the cheeks like you did in Dying Light 1. It's not as tense. They be trying to play this music and when you look behind you, you see like a few infected, but the volatiles in this game, which is those freaking nighttime vampire freaking infected, they're not even like remember in Dying Light 1 how you got the feeling like, yo, it's nighttime, I might like sleep this off just so I could do the next mission. In this game, you don't even feel like that. You're like, oh, it's nighttime, all right, I'll go out. Like, it's nowhere near as tense, as cheek clenching. Like, you don't just feel like you're in danger like you did in Dying Light 1. I don't know how they possibly messed that up. Because that was like one of the things that was so great about Dying Light 1, the nighttime gameplay. What they did in this game, I don't know whose idea was this. They said, you know what? Let's make it like Grand Theft Auto. Let's make it like a star system to where like the longer you're like running from people, like your chase level raises up. So there's like 4 different levels of chase. I guess, as long as you're being pursued and like you haven't completely lost the infected, like it'll raise the chase level. So it'll go from from level 1 chase to 2 to then 3 to then 4. I'm like, I don't know why they decided to do that. I really don't know why, but they ruined literally one of the best aspects of Dying Light 1 so far. Again, maybe the more I play this game, you know, I'll start to get it, and I'll be like, all right, I see what they was trying to do. I don't know. But from this first gameplay session I had on stream, nighttime gameplay, I ain't gonna say it's been ruined, because I did die like 1 or 2 times, but it wasn't really from like me just being like, oh my god, I'm like, oh, I am overwhelmed right now. It was really just for me being like lost in the parkour. Even the parkour is like, I definitely think one thing that does feel a little bit smoother in this game is the parkour. It does feel like a little bit more smoother than Dying Light 1. But even the parkour at times like is like a little janky. That's really how I died. Like the parkour stuff was like messing me up sometimes. But I don't know, man. That really shocked me. I was like, wow, how do you mess this up? Like, this was the thing that was so great in Dying Light 1. This junk feels like a dollar store version of Dying Light 1. I don't know how, like, everything in this game just feels cheaper. It feels like a off-brand Dying Light with maybe slightly better parkour, but just from a graphical standpoint, even in resolution mode, it just has a cheap look to it. The infected don't look as detailed, even when you're out in like the streets. Like, remember in Dying Light 1, like, I don't know about y'all, but when you first start Dying Light 1, you kind of try to avoid being on the ground because there's like freaking there are zombies just everywhere on the street. And this game is, I mean, yeah, it's 15 years after, and then, you know, stuff like that, so maybe like a lot of the infected died off, I don't know. But in this game, the infected are so much more spread out, and it's like you just, that like pressure you felt in Dying Light 1, both in the daytime at sometimes and especially at nighttime, is gone in this game. Gone. I don't know, bro, but yeah, Dying Light 2 right now, I'm disappointed. I must say, I am kind of let down by this game. And even in like the first Dying Light, when the first Dying Light came out, yeah, they had to do a whole bunch of updates and patches and stuff, you know. But Dying Light 1 out the box was still like a pretty good game. This game, I see already, is going to be having a lot of patches, a lot of updates, a lot of fixes, a lot of, thank God I did not buy. I literally had the deluxe edition of this game in my hands. I was about to spend $80 on this. Thank God I put that deluxe edition down. Oh my God. I honestly can't believe I'm saying this. Yeah, so, and I seen how Techland's Twitter, man, you click on Techland's tweets and then click at the responses, you see a whole bunch of disgruntled Dying Light fans saying, I can't believe this is this and you didn't do this and what the freak was you thinking with this. Like, a lot of people are complaining about this junk. So yeah, some of my viewers were saying in my chat last night, do you feel like this about the game because, you know, of your chat? Because, you know, my freaking Twitch chat was just like slandering this game the whole freaking time. So they was like saying like, do you like feel like this, or is it, or like, is the chat changing your opinion about the game? Yeah, but some people in my chat do just slander and troll just every game that comes out, but I don't really pay attention to them suckers like that. No, Dying Light 2 is definitely disappointing so far. I was feeling it after a while. There's probably one segment that I did like, when you're in, and it's very early into the game, when like you're in like the hospital, and I do like how with the infected, like they kind of like sleep now, so when like there's not a lot of like action going on, they like go into this, I guess, like a hibernation mode, and they kind of sleep. It's almost like I Am Legend, kind of like how they're like inside of a building just kind of like sleeping, and then as soon as like they hear something, they'll like, so I did like that. There's a few things about this game that still kind of give me some hope, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, all of the stuff I said, that's how I'm feeling about this game so far. So that's how I feel about the game. Techland, please tell us what happened. Till next time, I'll catch y'all in my next video. All right.